How's it going, friends? Reckless Yuki here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Thank you guys very much for checking out the video. I do greatly appreciate it. And not too long ago, I reviewed this, which was the HORI TAC Pro. And as you guys know from that review, I wasn't very satisfied with this product, and I gave it a negative review, basically saying that it didn't meet my expectations. So I thought I would do with this video is show you guys exactly what my expectations are, how I expect a mouse and keyboard to perform, and I'm going to do so by comparing it with the PC, as well as with a product that I do highly recommend, which is the XIM4, compared to the TAC Pro. And it's just going to be a run through of Battlefield 4 on the PC, and as well as the PlayStation 4, to kind of show you guys how it performs on the PC, and then show you how the XIM4 is able to emulate the PC feel on the PlayStation 4, and then how the TAC 4 or the TAC Pro performs compared to that. And I'm really excited and interested to show you guys this, because as I was watching some reviews of this after I uploaded my review, I was trying to see what other people were saying about it, and I noticed that some people were giving it very positive reviews and saying how very accurate it was and how shocked they were of how well this performs. And I'm not sure what their background is or what exactly they expect from a mouse and keyboard, but from my own personal experience with this product, as you guys saw from the review, it does not perform well and definitely do not perform up to my standards. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to jump into that. So please let me know what you think in the comment section below. And hopefully this is an eye-opener, especially for you guys who never played on the PC. So here we are at the top left of the screen. My hands will be here, showing you how I move the mouse and compare it to how the game actually responds on the PC. And you can probably tell this is PC because things look nicer than they do on the PlayStation 4. So anyways, starting off this test, try to make this video as quick as possible. We're just gonna pick this as our focal point, this guard tower right here. And I'm going to move the mouse from the edge of the screen like I did before with the TAC Pro video, and we're just gonna move it slowly to the right just to see the acceleration that the PC might have if it does. And I say that's about good, and then we're just going to quickly move it over. So it's about there, so it didn't really have any acceleration, and keep in mind that it might be a little bit different depending on how I move things. So let's just try it one more time. So I'm like basically right here at that post. And so move it to the right slowly. And fast. So right there. So there is no real noticeable acceleration at all with the mouse, and let's just do in a normal speed. So move in normal and then fast. So basically right there again, so it basically stays there no matter how fast you move the mouse. It just, you know, it basically is a 1-to-1 ratio. Like what you do with a mouse is what you're going to do on the screen, which is what you want when it comes to a mouse and keyboard peripheral. And then let's just do one of these where I kind of show you in a circular motion what it looks like on the screen. And let me just focus. I'm going to focus on trying to make the most perfect circles as I can. And so as you see on the screen, it looks like a really nice circle. It definitely feels nice. So this is how a PC is supposed to function when it comes to a mouse and keyboard. This is kind of the standard in which I expect a mouse and keyboard to function, and, you know, like basically what anyone who is a PC enthusiast will come to realize. And if you are playing on the PC and for whatever reason, if you try to do these tests and you're not able to mimic the same zero acceleration that I just showed, you have to go into your PC settings and possibly turn off acceleration, because it might be on by default. Any sort of auto correcting that Windows will do, as well as make sure to go in your mouse's firmware if it does have anything and disable any acceleration, as like any acceleration anywhere, whether in-game settings or in the mouse settings or in the actual operating system. But anyways, so that's basically what the PC looks like. All right, now we're loaded up in the PlayStation 4. XIM4, and as you can see, the game doesn't look nearly as good as the PC. It looks okay, but the PC does look a lot better. And I'm using my XIM4 to show you guys the peripheral, mouse and keyboard peripheral that I prefer when it comes to gaming on a console. If I ever choose to game on a console, this is a peripheral that I prefer, and just kind of show you guys how it feels. So like what we did on the PC, we're gonna look at that guard tower over there and right about there, kind of. And I'm going to do the same tests that I did previously and try to move the set away because that's probably going to mess me up. All right. So about right there. I say that's good enough. All right. So about right here. And I'm going to move it slowly to the right. Say that's about good and fast. So not quite there. Let's do it again. And one of the things you have to be aware of when it comes to mouse and keyboard peripheral is that, especially with the XIM4, is that it cannot exceed the speed of the analog stick. So you can't whip it around as fast as you could on the PC because then it kind of gives out. As you kind of see, it's kind of blinking right there. When it blinks like that, that means that I'm basically trying to move the mouse faster than what an actual controller is capable of. So that's one of the limitations when it comes to a mouse and keyboard peripheral on the console. But I'm going to try to do this as best I can without compromising the test, and so hopefully it does a good job. So then that I'm going to try to move it fast, but not as fast because I don't want that thing to blink. So basically right there. So very, very little, hardly any noticeable acceleration. Once again, try it one more time. And once again, trying to stop at the same exact spot is also slightly difficult, so keep that in mind as I do this test. So we're going to move it to the right again. Now fast. So it's about right there. And as you can see, it's pretty much spot on with how it's supposed to work. So then we're just going to do it at a normal speed. So move and then fast. I think I blinked that again, so let's try it again. So normal speed and faster. So it's basically right there. So that's, you know, the acceleration, deceleration expected with the XIM4, which is basically none. So that is fantastic, and that's what you should expect when it comes to a mouse and keyboard peripheral on the console. And then we'll just do that other test where I do circles just to show you how the X and Y axis is interpreted when it comes to this peripheral on a console. So starting off, I'm going to focus on just trying to do nice little circles. And as you can see, this is how a mouse is supposed to function. You see, like, it's not doing some weird, like, oval thing. It's basically just, you know, a nice circle mimicking what you're doing with the mouse. So whatever you're doing with the mouse, it is doing on the screen. So that is nice. So basically, this mouse and keyboard is what I like. And I feel that this is the most accurate thing possible when it comes to basically the consoles. Like this just feels great. Basically, as I move it from this direction and I move it here, I know no matter how fast I move it with respect to the limitations of the controller, it's always going to go there, and it's not going to go way out here or like just move right here. When I want to stop there, I have the muscle memory to know where to stop, and that's what you want. That's what really is needed when it comes to a first-person shooter, when it comes to a mouse and keyboard peripheral. So, I mean, this is what I expect when it comes to a mouse and keyboard peripheral, and the guys over at XIM do a fantastic job when, you know, updating this unit for each game that comes out. Like whenever a game comes out, within the first few days, they have a profile up to have it perfectly set so that it is going to interpret the mouse and keyboard perfectly with the game to give you that 1-to-1 PC feel and PC ratio. And if you're curious about my setup that I'm using with the XIM4, I have the Logitech G13, which I like very much. And then my new favorite mouse when it comes to the XIM4 is the Logitech G Pro. Absolutely love this mouse. Really, really light. Has that fantastic sensor, the PWM 3366. I'm able to go up to DPI 12,000, which is what you want when it comes to the XIM4. Basically set the in-game sensitivity and the mouse all the way maxed out, and then the XIM4 on the device itself, you want to put that around maybe like 5 you know, 5 to 10, at least under 10, and then it gives you the perfect feel when it comes to using a mouse and keyboard on a console. At least that is what I found out. So, you know, this is how a peripheral is supposed to be on the PC. So now let's move on. I mean, this is how it's supposed to be on the console, so now let's move on. All right, so here we are with the TAC Pro hooked up to the PlayStation 4 in the same game, in Battlefield 4, in the test field, and we're gonna basically just kind of do a comparison of how this feels. Now, like I just showed you guys, the PC is the gold standard, and the XIM4 matches that standard very, very, very well. Now, this is the TAC 4, or this is the TAC Pro, and I don't know, we're gonna kind of mess around with it a little bit just to kind of adjust some settings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to completely clear this out. So I'm gonna go to assign and then hit both of these at the same time. So as you see, it lights up, go back to off. So now the device is on default. And so we're going to move it around and kind of see how it feels on default. The in-game sensitivity is all the way maxed out. The DPI of the mouse is on the normal setting. So, I mean, everything with the device is on the normal setting, and it just feels too ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the game. Actually, not do that. I want to go into the game, and I want to lower the sensitivity. Let's say down to 50%. Okay. So back. Yes, and resume. All right, so I put the in-game sensitivity down to 50, and now it kind of feels okay. It's still way too jittery for my taste, so I'm gonna lower the DPI a little bit. That feels a lot better as far as like how fast I'm moving with the ratio of how fast like I'm physically moving the mouse to what I'm doing in the game. So that feels pretty okay for the speed. So now we're gonna do the same test that I did before with the XIM4 and the PC, and we're gonna look at the same guard tower, this thing right here, and we're gonna do some of these tests. So like what I did before, we're gonna move slow. So as you can see, I'm trying to move slow, but the game is like doing this, and then I'll move fast, and then that's just a huge amount of acceleration from when it was slow. But like I said, it kind of takes some fine tuning to try to get this thing even remotely somewhat decent. So we're just gonna move it at a normal speed, and then faster, and then it basically cuts short. So I'm not sure if I'm moving it too fast for the unit, just like how I said the limitations of the console, it can't go faster than what you're able to do with an actual analog stick. So maybe that's the same issue we're having here, but there's no indication that I'm seeing that's telling me that I'm going too fast. Like there's nothing on the actual unit, so I can't tell if I am actually moving the mouse too fast, but we're just basically like move it at a okay speed and then move slightly faster. And that's a huge amount of acceleration. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the acceleration off. So here, all the way down. So as you can see, both the acceleration is off. And now let's go back in here. And as you can see, super slow. So then I'm gonna have to jack up the DPI of the mouse. Still super slow. Gonna go into the options of the game. Gonna jack this back up to 100. Okay. Ah, shit. Hold on. All right, 100, back, save, yes. All right. So I have the in-game maxed out. I have the DPI maxed out, and this is what I'm left with. If I want to turn acceleration completely off, I can't move worth a damn. I'm just... It's just, I don't know, it's crap really right now. So I can't really move much, but let's just, for the sake of the demonstration, show you guys the acceleration with acceleration all the way off. So moving it slow. Not fast. Let's try that again. So slow. So it seems like moving it slow It's a lot better than trying to go fast. It's like super deacceleration. All right, so that's not gonna work. So let's try to give it a little bit of acceleration because the in-game is maxed out. You know, the mouse is maxed out. So let's just go 1 tick of acceleration. Okay, now here we are. So that 1 tick feels a little bit better, but it definitely doesn't feel smooth. But let's just try it anyway. So right here. Okay, and just move it slowly. And move it slightly fast. Yeah, that's still a lot of deacceleration, but like, can I play like this? I keep messing that up. And then if I aim down sights, it's all freaking everywhere again. So this is the HORI TAC Pro. I mean, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to mess around with it, but as you can see, trying to set it up is a pain in the dick. And then once you are starting to set it up, it just doesn't feel right. Once more, I'm going to mess around with the acceleration just to kind of slightly bump it up again. And then bump down the DPI a bit. Okay, so then maybe that's all right. So I put down the acceleration a little bit. Well, like raise it up from what it was, but it's a little bit below normal. And then the DPI is reduced. So we're going to try it again. It's about right there. Slowly move it. As you can see, the movement isn't that good. And then we're at high acceleration again. So I basically just ticked up the acceleration 1 notch from what it was, and then instead of getting deacceleration, we're getting a lot of acceleration again. So I mean, that's kind of mess. So now let's just try to mess with the dead zones a little bit. So I'm gonna go with the aim down sight dead zone, bring it down, just bring it up. So let's see what that does. So go back to here, aim down about right there. So that feels like about that. Go to the right. And fast. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's just try that again. So moving, and then fast. Okay, so that's way too much. All right, so moving, and then turn back fast. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Let's see. What happens if I turn the dead zones all the way off? Okay, dead zones are all the way off. Okay. So, moving. Fast. Yeah. See, so as you can see, I'm sitting here messing with things, trying to get it to work, but it's not able to let me do things as finely as I want, especially not like the XIM4. But running around like this, it kind of gives me the false sense of hope that I'm able to aim. And honestly, like, I can play with this. Like, it's not bad as far as Hipfire goes right now. Hipfire is okay, but aiming down sights is a little wonky, a little bit. I don't like all this kind of fast movement because it feels like it goes fast and slow, fast, slow as I try to control the movement of the mouse is something I don't like. So it definitely doesn't feel very solid. And now let's do the circle test. Once again, I'm just going to do a small circle. So as you can see, it kind of does a wonky thing. It kind of stops on the sides there a little bit. Let's see if I do a big circle. So let's just kind of reset it. So down and then start the circle. Okay, I don't know what that was. So let's just try a small circle again. So as you can slightly see, the horizontal axis moves a lot more than the vertical axis. It kind of makes that oval, which, like I said, is going to kind of throw off your aim, because as you kind of expect to move side to side, then you would want to expect it to move the same up and down, but it doesn't really make you feel all that good. It doesn't give me the confidence to play an FPS game. So anyways, that's how the TAC Pro works compared to the others in the PlayStation 4 and some Battlefield 4. All right, so welcome back. That was my run through to show you guys how a mouse is supposed to perform on the PC and how well the XIM4 does when it mimics a mouse and keyboard like a PC-like feels onto the console. It just does a fantastic freaking job. I absolutely love this thing. And then, as you guys probably saw that, you guys could kind of relate to my frustration when it came to the TAC 4 or the TAC Pro, as well as even the TAC 4 from way back when I reviewed that, absolutely destroying that product, saying that it absolutely sucked, which it did. And the TAC 4 or the TAC Pro, I keep messing up those two names. The TAC Pro is a upgrade from the TAC 4, but it's no XIM4. This thing is gold. And as you guys just saw from the demonstration that I just showed you guys, if you can afford it, the XIM4 is the only way that I recommend to go about it. There's other peripherals on the market that I haven't personally tested. You know, try to check out some other reviews on YouTube if you're curious about something else besides the XIM4. But if the person reviewing that product isn't familiar with the XIM4, or they don't have ability to show you how it kind of relates or how good it is compared to the XIM4, then I wouldn't really trust a review like that, because when it comes to the mouse and keyboard, it's supposed to act just like how it's supposed to be on the PC. And if it's not able to mimic that quality of control on the PC, then in my honest opinion, it's just not worth the money. So that's my 2 cents when it comes to reviewing these products and reviewing these mouse and keyboard peripherals on the consoles. And that's my expectations when it comes to a mouse and keyboard on the PC as well as the consoles. Basically how a mouse is supposed to feel. This is basically my standards when it comes to how everything is supposed to work. But anyways, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys again in the next video. Thank you for watching.